Welcome to We've Got Words, the podcast no one asked for. I'm your host, Brent Neves, alongside fantastic co-host, Cam Ponte. Cam, how we doing tonight, bud?
I'm fucking great.
You seem good today.
Thank you.
You seem less sad.
You know why?
Why?
Because you're in my life, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And
Wow, you really bought that lie that easily, huh? No, I've been focusing on myself. This has nothing to do with anyone else. I've just put in effort for the first time in my life.
You did, actually, and it shows. And I think the listeners are going to see a great episode. We got a lot of things to talk about, as always.
Yeah, I know. I think the first thing that we should talk about is that you've been so impressed with me this week. You even let me have ice.
No, I didn't. I did not allow you to have ice. I was actually going to surprise you. And I was going to put this in at the end, but I was going to remove your sanctions because you put in some extra work.
Hell yeah.
You
That's
did.
what I'm talking about,
You got me the clips that were late. You barely made the clips for this week, but you still did. You even did some extra work, which we'll get into a little bit, playing some games on the podcast.
Games.
Which was all good.
They call me Games Dean.
So I was going to reinstate your outro, right? That was the first thing. And I was going to do one better than give you your gavel back. So I'm going to give you your vote back, but you still can't use the gavel. But I think you'll be okay with it. I think you'll be okay with it because I am going to give you a bell. Now,
I'm like the bell of the ball.
I will take this away from you if you abuse it. You can try it out one time, but then that's it. Then you got to behave. Look ahead, try it one time. It's a good bell. Any day now. Okay, that was it.
I got excited.
That was a mistake.
I got really
that
excited.
Was a mistake.
I really liked it.
But then you show up with an ice cube. I never said you could have an ice cube.
I think it was in the subtext.
If I hear one ice cube clink on your mic, that will be a sanction. So I'm
so sorry. I didn't realize we were filming this podcast live from Auschwitz, fucking Nazi Germany.
I will allow it, but you got to just behave.
I'm always behaved. Name one time I haven't behaved.
Last week?
I was great last week. You were misbehaving last week. You didn't give me my fucking outro. And you did a shit job, by the way.
I thought I did a great job. I will say you made it a lot harder, though, to edit the video because the audio file was fine. I just cut your mic off. That was easy. But the video still had the audio. So it was trying to, sync it up, and it wasn't doing a good job. So then, it got out of sync, and I don't know if it went good because I didn't actually watch the video.
Did you learn your lesson?
Not really, because I did it.
Don't fuck with me. I'll make your life hell.
It took me an extra day, but I still did it.
Good. Well, I'm just happy to know that your sanctions made your life more difficult. That's all I care about.
I was gonna say we did record last week, right? And
yeah.
We went out last week too, right?
Not only did we record last week, we recorded a bonus episode that you refused to release.
Yeah, I called it Cam's Happiness because you really
loved that episode. It was fantastic. I thought it was great. I felt engaged the whole time. I felt good about myself after. I think that's what kind of pushed me to be so much better this week because I was like, oh, I feel great. And you're like, it was trash. I hated it.
Yeah, I think that's why it was bad. You were like, I was like, oh, Cam.
Because you take away everything in life that gives me happiness.
I was like, oh, I don't think we can actually release this stuff. I don't know. It kind of got a little shitty at the end. You're like, but I like it. I want to do it. I'm like, I didn't think you cared that much about it.
I cared a lot about it. I think it was the first thing in my life that I was proud of doing, and you took it away from me.
I haven't listened to it yet, but I don't think it's good.
No, I think it's a little different than something that we usually do. You know, it's a little bit more of deep conversation, but we're high, so of course.
Here's my problem with it. We were high because again, the bonus episode we keep on going, and you just had me talk about science. It was Bren's Science Corner, which we teased in the main show. But by that point, I didn't know what was going on.
I did. I followed it all perfectly.
Really? Did I make sense?
Sure.
So, see, that's what I don't know. I'm not convinced.
No one cares if you make sense. Half the time you talk, you don't make sense. You're a fucking maniac.
I mean, that's true. But, I feel like that one, I really didn't make sense.
No, you were fine, dude. I think you presented yourself great. I think that you had a lot of good points. And I didn't overshadow you with how much I know about things.
Yeah, you definitely didn't do that. I can tell you
I
that
know
much.
a lot of things.
I'm
a deep thinker. When I think, it's fucking...
I think what I'll do, I'm not going to delete it. I'm not going to release it yet. But I'm going to determine a decision based on how you behave over the next few weeks. If you piss me off, a sanction's going to be that goes in the trash. But if you're good, well, that's a reward. If you go above and beyond, I release it. So you're on the right path. You're on a good path. So just keep doing what you're doing for this week. Don't go back to what you used to do, and then you'll get your episodes. I promise.
I don't believe you.
Okay. Well,
I think you're going to hold that over me, and you're just going to keep saying, "Oh, keep being good, I'll release it. Keep being good, I'll release it."
I mean, I can tell you specifics of like if you did these things, I would release it. That's above and beyond.
Yeah, but then that's you have too much power over what you think I should and shouldn't be doing. I am my own human being. If I want to piss you off, I have every right to make you miserable.
That's absolutely true. And if I want to delete that episode, I have every right to do it.
Yeah, you do. You're holding our fans hostage because you're taking away phenomenal content.
Well, again, we'll see. I mean, just don't get a sanction and you'll be fine.
You can't say that. That makes me want to get a sanction.
I can't help you with that. I don't know what to tell you.
You make things so difficult sometimes. Like you're very difficult to work with.
I was surprised though because as we noted, we were high for that bonus episode, even more than the regular episode. Yep, good job. This is good. But then we went out later, and I was shocked. I almost forgot we went out, and I was like, "Oh, that's right."
Yeah, it was a blur.
Like a lot of shit happened, and I'm shocked that we remembered it. Because first we got done with the episode, and
I felt so good after the bonus episode.
We might have teased this in the bonus episode because you were like, "Oh yeah, no, we're gonna do an episode and go out." And I tried to explain to you, we're going to do one or the other. We're not doing both. But then I came to it. It was a shorter episode because we kind of killed it. Oh, I killed it because I was like, it's not really good. Let's just go out. And then you were trying to convince me to go out when I was already like, yeah, let's do it. I'm already convinced. And then you were like, no, you don't want to though.
Well, no, because you were saying for a little bit, you were like, nah, you were very like wish-washy about wanting to go out, and I was like, no, we got this. I'm feeling it. We're feeling good. I was riding it out, and I was like, we got this. I was trying to hype you up, and you were just shooting it down. You're like, fine, I guess we can go. I'll trust you. And I was like, well, hold on. This is just your. I said, I know exactly what you're gonna do. Okay, you are going to go out. You're going to have an awful time, regardless of anything I do. And then you're going to throw it in my face later and try to tell me, see, told you it was a bad idea. Told you we shouldn't have gone out. And I was like, I know that's what you're going to do. We'll just stay home. I'll save myself you getting all fucking pissy on me.
That was not my plan, though. All right?
Yes, it was.
Honestly, I did not really want to go out because I was like, what's the point? You convinced me. You got pumped up. You hyped me up. I wanted to go. I trusted you. You were very excited because you were feeling good. You were pumped up. So I trusted you. I was like, you know what? I think it's probably going to be a bad time, but Cam is really convinced that it's going to be a fantastic time, and I trust him. So we went out. I trusted you. And then you called.
And I told you, I said, don't hold it against me. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that anything amazing or incredible is going to happen. I just think we're going to go out, and if we don't think about it, we'll have a good time. That's all I promised you.
So then you called Uber and Eugene picked us up.
Eugenio.
I'm sorry. I thought his name was Giovanni, but...
Yeah, because you're thinking about Giovanni DJ Medici.
Oh, that's right.
Deep cut.
That's not really a deep cut. We're going to talk about it again in this episode. But then we're in the Uber, right? And I get a text, and I don't know what this meant. And you can kind of explain it because I don't know what it means still. It was from you, even though you're right next to me, saying Eugenio's Pizza. So I look at you and I go, why the fuck are you texting me and what does this mean?
And then you panicked me because, first of all, rule number 1, if I text you and I'm right next to you, don't say I texted you. Clearly, there's a reason I'm texting you.
No, here's the thing. If you said, yo, this guy smells, I wouldn't have said that you texted me.
No, I think you still would. I think you would 100% still be like, yo, maybe. Why the fuck you telling me this guy smells, dude? And I'd be like, oh, great, thanks. You have no chill.
Well, here's the thing.
You could have at least texted me, why are you texting me?
No, that's...
But no,
because then
you decided to just try to embarrass me in front of Eugenio.
I didn't know you were trying to impress him.
I wasn't trying to impress him, but I thought it was really funny because I heard his name and the first thing I thought of is that would be a great pizza place.
Because if you texted me something that made sense, I would have.
I
wouldn't have had to ask. But Eugenio's Pizza meant nothing to me.
Eugenio's a pizza.
So there is no story there. You just thought that would be a good pizza name.
Yeah.
Why?
I was high.
You know what? You got me. Then we end up going to Free Play, right? We grab some drinks. We go upstairs, and again, you're still pumped up. You're ready to go. And again, I'm trusting you, so I'm going along.
I want to let you know right now, though, I was faking it the whole time.
Yeah, no shit.
Very much so faking it, and I was just trying to just back my way into a bit.
And I'm going to spoil it for you. I trusted you, but I knew I was still going to be right.
Because I was right the whole fucking time, and you ended up throwing it in my face because you're an asshole.
Because I was right.
I know you so well, and you can say you're right all you want, but technically, I'm more right than you because I said you were going to do that. You did it, which means I was right.
Or maybe you were sabotaging our experience from the beginning.
To prove that I was right all along?
Yeah, if that's what you want to go with.
Technically, I still ended out on top because I got to go out, which I wanted to do. I had a good time. We had plenty of things to talk about for the podcast, and I was right that you were going to fucking throw it in my face that you didn't have a good time. I'm patting 1,000.
I had a great time. I just...
Well, then why? Oh, I trusted you. Then you shouldn't have been mad.
Well, because I said, well, this is what's going to happen if we go out.
I told you no matter what happened, you were going to complain and throw it in my face after, and that is exactly what happened.
And I said, I'm not saying we're not going to have a good time, but nothing... It's the normal stuff, right?
No, I disagree. Fine. I think we did a lot of not normal stuff.
I think you were just promising me something that wasn't going to happen, and I was like...
I didn't promise you anything.
Yeah, but I trusted you.
That's your fault. I told you, I said, I'm not promising anything. All I think is if we go out, and we don't think about it, we'll have a good time. And we had a good time. Well, no, that's exactly what I kept saying.
But because I was going along with what you were saying, we instantly go to free play. We go up to the club area up top, and you just go, all right, sit down. I'm like, okay. Do you want to dance? Like everyone's dancing. Like we're here to maybe meet people, drink, have fun. You go, no, sit down. All right, I sit down. You go to me, look out. What do you see? Like, what the fuck?
Well, no,
what do you mean?
Hold on.
What do I see?
It was so much more exaggerated than that, okay? Can you give me some more credit?
Well, maybe.
So from my perspective, this is what happened. I got you to free play, and I was like, well, it was, like when a dog's chasing a mailman? They want to get the mailman, but they don't know what they want to do if they get the mailman. So you got me out,
and now you have no clue what to do. Yeah. So you go with, look out, what do you see?
So I got you to free play, and I was like, well, fuck. Let's see what we can do now. What are we going to do? So you wanted to go upstairs, and I was like, yeah, let's just go along with that. So we go upstairs, I sit you down, and I go, take a look out there. What do you see?
And
you were so confused.
My response was, people having fun, let's join them. I don't know. What did you expect? I don't know what you expected.
I wanted you to come out with something a lot more profound than that.
There was nothing. There was people. I said, let's go and start dancing. We go and start dancing, and all you know, everybody starts dancing. We brought them there.
That didn't happen.
That's exactly.
That is not what happened.
So it was just coincidence that once we started dancing, everybody else at bachelorette
there was already a bunch of people dancing.
They were dancing up in the corner, and then when we went out, they all joined. They all went
and they wanted nothing to do with us.
Well, we didn't know that.
No, we did know that because they got onto the dance floor, danced for 5 minutes, and then went and talked to someone else on the dance floor, came back near us, and then 1 minute later, got up and left.
Yeah, that's because
there was zero interaction with us. Whether we were there or not would not have changed anything that they did.
They kept walking by because they wanted attention, and we did not give that to them. We were focused on other things.
What were we focused on?
So I think this happened when we went outside. But I don't know if I think it was right after
we had left. We had ended up because you were getting upset because apparently I don't know if we weren't dancing to your standard or whatever fucking complaint that you have.
So we went outside.
What did you want to do? It was slim pickings, man.
I thought it could have been fun to just do something.
I thought I saw a girl that was cute and then you shamed me for it.
No, I didn't shame you for it.
Yes, you did.
She just might have been a dude.
That's not how that works. I was like, I think she's pretty cute. You're like, yeah, she's kind of cute. Cam, that's a dude.
No,
I was like,
no.
It's not a dude, Brent.
I said, yeah, she's cute, but she could be a dude. Is how I said that.
And then for the whole rest of the night, you just kept telling me, go upstairs and talk to that trans girl. Like you were trying to shame me for it.
That was not.
There's nothing wrong with that.
How was that shaming? I was just saying that.
It was the way you were saying it. You were saying it like, oh yeah, why don't you go do that, prick?
No, because I knew you wouldn't.
And it was very rude.
Yeah, because I
did not appreciate that you were trying to shame me.
I wasn't shaming you. I was trying to prove a point that you wouldn't do it. Therefore, we shouldn't be out right now. And I was right.
No, because it led to so much else. Because we went outside to take a breather. I was changing out some Zins, and there was people around.
Yeah, no, you looked at me.
It was a good time.
So you looked at me from my perspective and went, like kind of gave me the look of like, And for the video watchers, they can see it was like, don't say anything. And I'm looking around. And I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Then I see it. Or at least I thought I saw it. Because I was like, he must be talking about this. There was this girl who walks by with one arm. And I look at you and I'm like, I'm not going to say something. Like, come on, I'm not that bad of a person.
You, first of all, are that bad of a person.
No.
Because I didn't even track that.
Which is wild to me.
I apparently was in that scenario. Someone with one arm walked by. It meant nothing to me.
And for me, I was like, I'm not going to say anything.
And you looked at it and you're like, oh yeah, Cam thinks I'm going to laugh at one arm lady over there.
Well, what else could you have been talking about? And then you told me, I was like, wait, that's what you're pointing out right now?
Yeah, you were talking about someone that was like across the room. I was referring to the incredibly hot MILF that was 1 foot away from us.
She was all right.
No, she was very hot.
She was all right. Definitely not a dude, though.
And then her daughter walked up and was talking to her, and you could tell because she was there with her husband, and then the daughter walked up with like a group of friends. And I thought, because I saw you check out the daughter, and in my mind, I thought you were gonna be like, "Yo, Cam, let's get the mother-daughter combo and call it a day." And I was like, "Don't even say it. The husband's there.
Here's the thing.
We're very close. I don't want them to think we're creeping on him." That's what I thought you were.
That bit was going on in the background. Like I knew that, and that would have been funny, but I just thought, okay, is he talking about that bit or the obvious person with one arm?
Again, not obvious. I didn't even clock it.
Because in my mind, the bit kind of took priority.
It doesn't matter how many arms a person has. You don't need to comment on the amount of arms someone has.
You're right. But, when someone doesn't have two.
That's a red flag for you?
It's not a red flag. It's just a fact that's usually people have two. Usually. So I thought, I
don't see the world through that lens.
You not see arms?
I think all people are created equal.
Okay.
Well, you think some people are created slightly less?
No, I think, I wonder what their story is. That's it.
They don't need to have a story to have one arm, man. They're just people, man.
They gotta have a story.
Everyone has a story.
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking. And you're thinking,
you're singling them out.
And you're thinking, yes, we're gonna hit the mother-daughter combo, but her husband's right there, so not right now.
Yeah, that's what a normal person thinks.
But then after
I'm checking people out, and you're like, oh, look at that girl with one arm.
Yeah, I think that's normal.
No, you're weird.
She was dancing up a storm, though. Her legs perfectly fine.
Well, yeah, man, those don't necessarily.
Her
have
legs
to correlate.
make up for her missing arm.
Yeah, well, bro, she knew what she was doing. Okay,
she did.
She knew what she was doing. She was working with it.
But then, so we're trying to make something fun happen. So we're done with the outside. We go back in, and there was a couple of cute girls, not like in the dance club part, but in the actual arcade part. So we start, kind of walking over there, and I was like, oh, they're two very attractive people, alone, playing a game. This is the time. Go ahead, Cam. Again, trying to prove a point.
But we can't blame this on me.
Yes, we can.
No, we blame it on my ADHD. Because I saw Dig Dug, and I really wanted to play Dig Dug, dude.
You saw the game Dig Dug, which I don't think you.
And I gravitated to it.
You only know of Dig Dug as what the Pokemon, which isn't even the Pokemon's name. Okay,
no.
You think Diglett's name is Dig Dug, not even knowing Dig Dug is an arcade game from the 80s.
I knew that was a thing.
Have you ever played it?
I play it every time I go.
Do you really?
Yeah. I love Dig Dug.
Where am I usually?
You usually fuck off because I'm playing Dig Dug. You get mad at me.
I got mad at you because I was like, you were talking this up. I was like, well, there's our chance. It's almost time to go. And you were playing Dig Dug. So yeah,
and to be fair, I was killing it.
So I was like, I'm not.
And then you abandoned me and you didn't want to watch me fucking kill it at Dig Dug.
Yes, I did not want to do that. I wanted to go. If I was going out, I was going out. I wasn't playing Dig Dug.
That's your first mistake,
We could have done that on the Asian Fire Stick video game thing.
Wait, do they have Dig Dug?
Yes, of course they have Dig Dug.
No.
Dude, they gotta have Dig Dug.
I know we're doing after the podcast.
We are not doing that. But then I leave because I don't want to see you play Dig Dug. I want to meet people and talk and dance and have a fun time and drink. So,
which you weren't doing anyway.
Because my wingman wasn't there to support me.
Oh, well, you already tell me every single time we go out that I am a terrible wingman. So why are you reliant on someone that you are doing, that you're telling is terrible?
I want you to be better. Okay.
Well, that's not how we make me better. We don't make me better by just shitting on me every single time and then giving me no notes.
But okay, you want to note? Don't play Dig Dug.
It's not my fault.
Next time that happens, stop playing Dig Dug. Step 1. Can you get past step 1?
I can't.
Okay, so then there's no point.
Listen, I'm going to need to be medicated before Dig Dug doesn't take my attention, okay? That is something that's just going to keep me there.
So then you find me upstairs, and you're still like, I'm kind of wanting to do stuff. I have the itch to do stuff.
And I'm mad because I get that, but like, I was just doing something. You could have joined me in Dig Dug.
I'm pretty sure you're like, but 2 words, Dig Dug.
I mean, am I wrong, dude?
So then I had enough. So then I leave. I just walk outside. I don't know how far behind me you were. Apparently, which I don't know, I'm dying to find out. But you had your own side story.
Yeah.
But I walked out and I left.
You dipped and I saw you and I was like, now I have to fucking chase this guy around Providence and I'm already annoyed because you stopped me from playing Dig Dug. So I follow you outside and then you like cross the street and you just keep fucking booking it and I'm like, Brent, and not even looking back, nothing.
To be.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm just like standing there for a minute trying to figure out if I want to leave your ass in the city or if I'm going to follow you. And I was just standing there and a guy was walking by and he just comes up to me and he goes, hey. I was like, hey, how's it going? He's like, friend running away.
Like he's seen me do this before.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, like I don't even know where he's going. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know what to do. And he goes, you know what? I think you should go after him. Like
That's
really
crazy.
serious like that. And I was like, I took a minute for myself because I was like, is this the universe right now? I've never, there is no reason that this man should have stopped and spoken to me. And I said, you really think I should? And he goes, I think he really needs you right now. And I said, all right, I guess I'll go after him. I really appreciate that. It was really nice to meet you. He goes, yeah.
Maybe
I'm Dave. And then I shake his hand. I go, Cam, it's really nice to meet you, Dave. He goes, go get him.
I think this is what it was. He like wanted you because he was having a fantasy in his head.
No, he told me to go.
No, and then he was like, but I know the right thing is that he has to go, even though he wanted you so bad.
I hope that that's the case because
he's
very
homeless?
flattered. No, he looked normal.
Oh, he was a normal dude?
Yeah, he didn't, he was dressed. He looked like he was just like walking back to his car from like the club.
Maybe Dave was like my angel. Maybe he was like, or maybe I know Dave. He's like, no, I know that guy. I've seen him walk on the street.
No, he needs you. Go get him. He's going to die.
I've seen what happens when someone doesn't go and get him. Go and get him.
Yeah. So I chase after you. I finally catch up to you. And I'm like, dude, you gotta fucking stop. What are you doing? You can't just roam. You can't just walk away. Fucking Dave had to tell me to come get you.
But then I was like, I'm sorry. I want to go. I want to party. I want to go out and do stuff. And then it was like fate because we're just walking. And
I like to think Dave is the reason that this happened.
Dave could be an angel. He could be an angel. So then I see.
Can we name this episode "Touched by an Angel Named Dave"?
Okay, that's a long. Maybe we can workshop it. It gives me something to play with. Okay. If we keep throwing in Dave jokes, then we can. But I look up, big lights. I see this really like hopping bar, good music. It was like EDM music, which I love. And it looked fancy. It looked cool. I look up and it says Medici. Dude, the first thing I thought of, my boy Giovanni's working.
Giovanni DJ Medici.
And then I asked you, I was like, yo, is this? And you look, and we had that look, and you're like, yeah, I think.
I was like, fuck, you're right. That actually is Medici. So I cannot believe that this is where you drunkenly, highly wandered to.
See? So sometimes you just got to follow me and just go along with me instead of the other way around.
I trusted you.
So I was like, we're going. I walk in. Well, I try to walk in, and the bouncer goes, no. And I'm like, oh, fuck, what am I doing wrong? I've never been here before. And the guy just goes, like, I went to go pull out like my ID and like the cover, and the guy goes, no. You're going to go to the other door. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fair. I thought I did something wrong. Where is it? He goes, all right, here's what you're going to do. Go down the street, take a right. Then you're going to take another right and another right. Keep going, take a little bit more of a right, and you'll be right there. We go, all right, cool, thank you.
And we just start walking, and I'm like, that guy is standing by the only entrance. And he was just like, he clocked us and was like, I don't want them in here, but I have no reason to not want them in here. So I'm just going to send them on a goose chase.
So as we're walking, we're like, we're taking a right. And I'm like, Cam, I'm pretty sure he said 4 rights. Like, I was like, and then you turned to me and you said that. You're like, yeah, I don't think he wants. I'm like, I think you're right, Cam. I don't think we're going to get in there. And we just keep taking rights. And all of a sudden we see Medici, a different line with like people being like, oh, you got 2 minutes to come in here. We're like, okay.
Well, fuck, we got to go at this point. We can't say no.
So then, they check our IDs. And then we, pay an astronomically big cover and drink cost. But it was worth it.
I think they said there was like an event that night or something like that, and we had just like wandered in.
They gave me a flyer, like, oh, if you like him, like this is like his schedule, like his tour schedule. It was like an EDM DJ, which I was like, I don't know who this is, but I like it. We instantly get in there. I'm like, all right, Cam, this is the place. It's hopping. What are we drinking? You said, surprise me. So I said, sounds good. We got a couple of gin and tonics. She hands us those, and I go, yeah, fuck it. Give us a couple of shots of tequila too. Take some tequila shots. Then we hit the dance floor.
Yeah, it was strange, man. It wasn't really my scene. Everyone was like sitting there fucking for no fucking reason because it was quite dark. Sunglasses.
Yeah.
Everyone had sunglasses. I felt out of place, and I'm like, I should not feel out of place indoors without wearing sunglasses.
We were a minority there. We were the only people not wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, it was strange.
But it was my type of music. They played your favorite EDM song.
They did. They played the Vowels song, dude. They played Vowels. I loved it.
But I was having a great time.
What's the real name of the Vowels song? So everyone can listen and finally
question.
understand.
I would have to stop for like a second and think about it.
Jesus, Brent.
So
you can't even let them know what the Vowel song is.
How about this? The next post you do, you can play that as music.
Okay, you gotta tell me what it is, because if not, I'm gonna type in the Vowels song, and you're gonna find some like fucking kids trap shit.
Although that could be good too. I'll probably think of it as we get through this episode, but
okay.
But if I think about it, then I gotta stop talking, and I can't do that.
Oh yeah, because you can't think and talk at the same time.
Do one thing, one thing at the same
time.
One
thing and one thing only, guys.
But then after we do that, that was pretty much it. We still left mad at you because I was still right. Because this hopping place, we did nothing.
Well, yeah, because I was very out of my element. It's not music that I'm used to listening to. It's not music I'm used to dancing to. I wasn't wearing sunglasses, and apparently that was a big part of the whole thing. So yeah, I'm gonna be a little confused. I'm not gonna know what to do. I'm just a boy.
I feel like were we talking to people? Was I talking to people? Did I try to make friends?
Maybe. I think you were trying to make friends. I was just trying to survive. I was just trying to find some like sunglasses on the ground.
That would have been funny.
That was my number one priority. Is I said I have to cover my eyes.
You should have went out the other door and talked to bounce from like, I need some sunglasses.
I could too bright. That's the other thing. I looked all over that place. I did not see another entrance.
Yeah, I thought I saw it, but I was like, there's no way. We took so many rights. So I was like, this is no way.
Yeah, man.
Maybe it was one of those cases he should have just told us to go left.
Nope. I don't think that would have made sense, man.
I don't know. But we were only there for like maybe a half an hour because, again, it was closing.
No, it was longer than that.
I don't think it was that long.
I think it was longer than that.
I think time just flew in there then.
It was a different world, man.
Like, I'm not going to lie, though. I wanted to start taking Molly.
I tell you what,
started to go on the dance floor.
I was dancing up a storm.
We made our way to the front.
We did.
I was like, Cam, we're going to the front.
You said we're going to the front, and I was like, is there sunglasses? I don't know.
Man, I forgot we actually did something, though.
Yeah.
I was like,
and then you're trying to tell me you didn't trust me, you didn't do any of this, didn't do that. We got to Medici.
Yeah, because of me. Because
I got you out.
Because you pissed me off.
We wouldn't have gotten to Medici if I didn't convince you to go out. So is this what you want,
Cam? Thank you for pissing me off and making me storm off to find Medici. Is that what you want?
That is the definition of our friendship.
That seems unfair to me.
I piss you off and into greatness.
Then what do you do? What?
I do everything. I piss you off. I lead you down the right path. I'm your guardian angel.
No. Dave's my guardian angel.
No, he's my guardian angel, okay?
I don't know.
Dave came to me and it was like a little like performance review, and he was like, okay, listen, if you're going to be a guardian angel, you got to follow him. And I was like, you got me. That's all we can do.
I wish we could like have superpowers to relive that night in an alternate reality where you didn't go. Like, I wish
Well, we discussed. No, we discussed this heavily in the bonus episode that you refused to let out. We talk all about the different dimensions and how with certain dimensions you could look at all of time and re-experience it. We could.
We
All we have to do is die. We talked
Don't
about
point
that
at
too.
me. We need an episode of The Twilight Zone where they go, but what if he didn't go after him? And then like they just go on to like a half hour.
I think me and Dave would have been best friends. I think you would have been replaced.
Bonus episode?
I think me and Dave would have come back to your apartment. I would have stolen all of the podcast stuff, and then We've Got Words would turn into Cam and Dave have more words than Brent.
Dude, bonus episode idea because they've been wanting. Yeah, we can do that too. They've been wanting to do it. I mean, I've heard improv would be a good idea. We improv our alternate reality of that night.
That sounds way too difficult.
That sounds like a post bonus.
Because we really didn't do much. We didn't do much at all that night.
I don't remember much.
There was a lot of just silences and me saying, so what do you see?
If I didn't have notes in my phone, like some of them I was a little confused about, but I would have remembered anything.
Well, I think that's part of the problem is usually when I'm putting notes in my phone, I'm gonzo. So there's so many things that I just don't get. And like I look at it after and I'm just like, this in my head would spark a memory. Nothing.
Yeah, you have one up here. I don't know if you want me to read it, but you put it on the notes and I don't know what it means.
I don't know what it means either. It was so confusing.
It just says Slow James.
No, Jams. Did you put James?
Oh, no.
No, there's no E. You're a fucking idiot.
Okay, but
you can't read. That's canon.
But then it says Slow Jams Ninja. I don't know what the emoji, but I couldn't do the emoji.
I don't know. That's what confuses me. I'm pretty sure I put that in my notes on Monday night when I was just home alone. I had a couple of edibles and I was just like watching TV shows.
Not doing the clips. Yeah.
Yes. Not doing the clips. And for some reason that ended up on my notes. I could not tell you what I was talking about. I could not tell you how it sparked that. Nothing. That was just life for me, you know?
Yeah, so, I mean, we should start writing more things down, but maybe you need to work on what you're writing down. They're not really notes, Cam, if you don't know what they mean.
Listen, man, you're lucky I wrote something down.
Or there's some that, like, you can write down that maybe I would know. Like, I do that all the time. Half of my notes, I had no clue what they meant, but you did.
Oh, so, yeah. I remember, literally, we were talking about, like, this episode and stuff like that, and you were like, yeah, so what happened when we went out the other day? And I was like, oh, we could talk about Dave. And you were like, who the fuck is Dave? And I said, just wait for it. And then you scroll through your notes, and then there's a note about Dave.
Yeah, I had the note about Dave. I don't get that. I didn't even know that guy existed.
Because I told you about Dave. Listen, you don't realize that a big part of my job on this podcast and in life is taking your memory. We talk about this all the time with like stories from high school and college and stuff like that, where I'll be like, remember when this happened? And you'll be like, oh my God, yeah. Or you'll be like, no. And I'll have to tell you the whole fucking story. And then you're like, oh yeah.
But see, here's the thing. I think that's good because I can't make those things happen if I'm trying too hard on remembering it, you know? So I just got to do and you got to remember.
Yeah. And what I do is I piss you off to make you react to things. And then it's like I'm studying you.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I'm like, how would he react to this?
That's fine.
And then you do something and then I write it down and then you're like, you're annoying. And I'm like, yeah, but this is why.
That's fine. But I hate it when you go, yeah, see, I do all the work. I'm sorry.
I think I just do a lot more background work than you realize.
Yeah, that's all you are is background work.
Yeah, I'm a ninja, bro. I'm a slow jams ninja.
Maybe that's what it came from.
It was not in the slightest.
I think you would be a great sidekick character. Like you're not main character energy, but you are, and this is a compliment, the best side character. You are the best sidekick.
Okay, no, but here's the thing. You're saying that because you view yourself as a main character.
Well, I am.
But the thing is, neither of us have main character energy. But
I disagree.
But we have duo energy. We are a fantastic duo when we're together. That's the only reason this podcast works. If you could try to do this podcast with anyone else, not going to work.
Challenge accepted to our listeners.
Same for me. You know, I don't think it would be as good. I think it's like, you know, the classic buddy cop stuff, you know? That's me and you. We're a duo.
But see, here's the thing. I do think that's true.
Me, you, and Dave. It's a trio.
That's
now.
A trio. But I think I am a main character and you are, hold on, listen, hear me out.
Because you have no substance.
Hear me out.
You're all surface, man.
I'm a main character and you are like the best sidekick, but we're playing in the minor leagues of a show where we think it's the number one show.
No.
Because in my worldview, that's absolutely what happened.
Because the thing is, yes, because, and here's why, you, like I said, are all surface. You are all surface, and I have nothing on the surface. I am boring on my own. I have a deeper level to me and more reactionary in that sense. So my reactions and my being able to be deeper than you distracts from there being nothing underneath you.
No, there is. There could be. No, because okay,
there's nothing there.
How about this?
If you spend enough time talking to you hit bedrock real quick. Buddy.
Hear me out. We're like an onion. What you said is true. Got the surface, me, right? You got like the deeper stuff, you. Okay, we have another layer. It's really deep stuff. That's back to me.
No, you don't have really.
You
deep
don't know
stuff.
that.
It's all surface shit.
You don't know that.
You refuse to talk about anything.
See, you wouldn't understand because you're not main character energy. That's the problem here.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to each record a solo episode and see what everyone thinks of each episode. Your episode is going to be all this surface, non-deep stuff, and you're just going to be telling stories about you doing stupid shit and all this other stuff, and you will never touch on anything legitimate. And mine will be boring because I'll be talking about feelings and stupid shit and why I did certain things and reflections and all this other stuff. And they're both going to suck.
So what you're saying is I'm not boring.
No. You're boring when you actually think about it.
But it's a podcast, Cam. You only want to show the surface. That's the point.
That's not the point.
That's what I think.
Most podcasts actually have a sense of depth to them.
Not this one.
Because you try to run it, and that's the problem.
But I will let you do one thing that I know you've been dying to do ever since the beginning.
Thank you.
And that indicates
Game Corner?
Game Corner.
Yeah,
so,
you're welcome.
Thank you for getting a game and doing minimal amount of effort on the podcast.
Not minimal amount of effort. I put in time and work, and I came up with an idea.
So you were,
and I presented it. I was this close to making a PowerPoint. And again, for just the audio listeners, my fingers are pretty close.
Again, you were the side character to these games because someone else wrote all these prompts, and you just sifted through them and went, hey, "This one's good. This one's good."
Yeah.
So you played a game called Change My Mind, right? And you pulled out a few cards. Now, I just kind of wrote some, like, ideas of what we're going to go through, but I haven't actually read the cards. So do you want to kind of explain this game and what we're going to do? Because this is all you, and I appreciate it.
So, essentially, it has, like, a specific topic, and then it gives, like, 5 individual, like things, and you're supposed to rank them to whatever the topic is. Now, I know. Is that
how they all go, or is it just like this specific one?
No.
Or is that the general idea?
So,
okay.
Yeah, the general idea of this Change My Mind game.
Not a sponsor, clearly.
Is ranking. Well, they can sponsor us if they want.
Use our code on Amazon. We could probably set that up.
That's not how that works.
I think that's
not how any of this works. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to name a topic, and I'm going to read out the different answers that they have here, and you're going to rank them, buddy.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you when you're wrong.
Okay.
All right. So worst place for a bar fight.
This is a good one. I've always wanted to get into a bar fight.
Yeah, I knew that you were going to feel that way because every single time we go out and you get to like a certain point, when you get to that like 9th drink, you're like, dude, I want to fight somebody.
It's just
right
you got to
now.
do it,
and it's scary.
I've been close a couple of times, but you know, I never escalate. But man, do I never de-escalate?
Yeah, it's rough. It's very scary sometimes. But so here are the answers that we're going to be ranking here. All right,
today. Are you going to give them to me all? Can we go through them one at a time?
I'll go through them one at a time, and then you can rank them after.
Unless I have nothing to say, but I usually have stuff to say.
All right, worst places for a bar fight. Coming in at the first response, we have Ireland.
All right, so fighting Irish for a reason. You know what I'm saying? They get rowdy.
Nothing like a drunk Irish patty punching you in the mouth.
Like, I've always wanted to get into a bar fight. They always, every time they go. So they have experience. You know, experience matters.
All right, next we have Mother Russia.
Okay, that's another good one.
They're brutal because life sucks over there. Fighting is all they have.
Like, the Irish will fight you, but you won't die. You know, because at the end of the
you'll
day,
be friends with the Irish.
Exactly.
You know, you'll beat the shit out of each other, and then you'll be buying each other drinks, and then that's your best friend for life.
The Russians will kill you and your family for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. Whether they win or lose, they could beat the living shit out of you. They could kill you, and then like, well, now we got to finish the bloodline. You know.
That's true. Okay, what's next?
And it's just so depressing over there. They have so much to fight about because they have nothing to lose.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's not cheerful. It's just it's dreary.
Yeah. We got to fix Russia, dude. Cameron Brink go to Russia?
Cameron Brink go to Russia.
That could be a great idea.
We need special visas to get there, but we're a podcast. So.
Oh, I don't need it.
To go to Russia?
Yeah.
Portugal is okay with Russia?
Yeah, they're fine.
Are they really?
I don't know. Probably.
Probably not, but okay.
Next is Texas.
So Texas, though,
you would not do well in Texas.
I would love Texas.
No, because they're gonna take one look at you and they're gonna be like, "We don't like your way of life, boy."
But as soon as I open my mouth to go,
as soon as you open your mouth, they're gonna say, "I still don't like his way of life, and I feel more secure about that opinion right now."
See, here's the problem with Texas, though, and I respect it.
You share their views, but everything about you screams everything Texas hates.
Like Texas will get into a friendly fight, but they'll use guns, and then like you'll just die, and then they won't really realize, oh, guns kill people. So that's why it's scary for me, because less likelihood of a fight, but everyone's packing in Texas.
Everyone's packing in Texas.
You know what I'm saying?
Next we have El Salvador.
Damn. See, that's also damn. These all suck. Because I feel like then I'd get human
they are
trafficking.
the worst places for a bar fight.
Because there it's like, people don't really, like, for example, if the Russians were to do something to me, America would get involved and like, you gotta give our boy back because they love me.
No, they wouldn't.
And
they wouldn't fucking care.
We're looking for a problem to start with Russia, but a place like El Salvador, you won't even know. You'll just be like trafficked. You know?
I don't think you know enough about El Salvador. I think you're making rash claims that you're pulling out of your ass.
If you ever go to, you can't leave the resort type of deal.
No.
You know? I feel like it's that type of place.
Okay. Well, the next one is my company's holiday party.
That's fine.
I think you would aim to get into a bar fight at your company's holiday
There are
party.
a couple of fuckers I would punch in the mouth. So,
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And you don't care enough about your job to care if you get fired.
I think I could punch someone and still not get fired. I feel like I'm kind of like that, but
I think that's fair.
Okay, so that one's last, like the easiest one.
All right, so I'll read them out again. We have Ireland, Russia, Texas, El Salvador.
I feel okay. I'm going to go with El Salvador, number one, store spot. Tell you why. Russia was going to be close, but I feel like there is a chance that I could be friendly with the Russian so that after the fight, they don't kill my family. I feel like I could convince him of that. All right. El Salvador, I feel like I'm going to vanish off the face of the earth. But then Russia. Then it would be Texas. They have guns. I'll get shot. The Irish, they'll fight you. They'll fuck you up. But you know what? You're going to be drinking another pint
There's still that aspect of a good time. It seems like you're kind of just, being cultural if you fight in Ireland.
Would you agree with that list?
Yeah. No, that's probably exactly. No. I would probably put Russia over El Salvador.
What if I say, though, every time our list agree, you get to ring the bell? How is my list sounding now? I said once. You get to do it.
That was one ring, dude. It's just a little fucked up.
All right, that was a good one.
All right. So the next one we have is just called Fight Me. So
okay,
I think this could go in many different directions.
Okay.
So I guess what we're gonna say is
who I would want to fight.
Yeah, who you would want to fight. Rank number one out of this list, this is the person I'd rather fight, down to I definitely don't want to fight this person.
Okay, so the person that I can take goes at the top. Okay. All right, let's hear the list.
So we have Mike Tyson.
Yeah, no, he's number 5.
Absolute bottom.
I don't think
he will destroy me.
Honestly, the only other
I'll tell you what, though, I could take Logan Paul or Jake Paul.
Yeah,
he's a little pussy punk bitch.
The only one that could go above Mike, below Mike Tyson would be Jesus. If he had yeah.
I think Mike Tyson could take Jesus. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Mike Tyson takes Jesus. That's the next Netflix special. Fuck Jake Paul, bro. We need Mike
Jesus
Tyson
is a lot of things,
Jesus.
But he is not a fighter. Let me tell you.
Yeah, but he's got powers and immortal and God.
First of all, Guess what? Listen, walking on water and turning water into wine, not going to help you in the ring.
He would turn water into wine and I'd drink all of it and kill myself because I'm not going to turn down a drink.
He would be trying to turn water into wine while he takes a mean right hook from Mike fucking Tyson. And then he's not even going to fight back because he's going to turn the other cheek.
We need to see that happen.
It's a losing battle.
Cam, we need to see
Don't get me wrong. They're going to go rounds, but the way that a fight was going to go, Jesus isn't going to score any points, man.
Should I learn how to animate something so we can see that happen? Because that needs to happen in my lifetime.
I think we should get Mike Tyson on the podcast and discuss if he thinks he could take down Jesus in a fight.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the next one is Oprah Winfrey in a car.
I don't like that bitch, first off. So she's
Why don't you like Oprah? Is it because you think she went to the Diddy parties?
She's too much, always making me look under my chair. Like,
you've never looked under your chair when she prompts you.
Just give me the gift, bitch. If I'm at an Oprah Winfrey show, at least you can do is give me a gift.
I mean, that's what she does. I'm pretty sure you don't leave the Oprah Winfrey show. I mean, when it was on the air, you don't leave the Oprah Winfrey show without a gift.
Wasn't she like canceled for something? I heard she was really mean. Or am I making
No, you're thinking of Ellen DeGeneres.
I don't know. I feel like Oprah was mean too, hitting people with cars and shit.
No, you're thinking of when Drake and Josh hit Oprah Winfrey with a car. But
that's what I'm thinking about, yeah. Yeah, I want to fight her, though, just out of principle. She probably drives a Prius, too.
She has so much money. The last thing she's driving is probably a Prius.
I feel like she's one of those people
that would out-of-pocket random shitty
I feel like she would still drive a Prius.
The next one is someone high on PCP.
That's fine. Just even the playing field.
No.
Because I'm assuming
someone on PCP is going to fuck you up, man.
But wait, so he can use PCP, but I can't?
Yeah.
Oh, that's no fair now.
No, it's just like you're walking down the street and you see either Mike Tyson, Oprah Winfrey in a car, or someone high on PCP.
He's in the middle.
And they're going to fucking come for you.
He's in the middle. Still not below Mike Tyson.
The next one, I guess, is a tag team because it's Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. And
I feel like that's two against one. I feel
that's not that bad. Yeah, because they're going to fight each other, and you're either going to sit there and watch or you're going to help one of them.
I was thinking of... Actually, it could go two ways, though. It's going to be me and Johnny Depp beating the shit out of this woman, which would be funny. Or Amber Heard's going to convince me because she's still kind of cute. And then, I'm going to...
She's going to shit on your bed. You know that, right?
Again, I'm just saying there's a world
and
where
why
it may
would
be
you
worth
ever...
it.
First of all, I don't think anyone can convince me just because they're pretty to beat up Johnny Depp or to try to fight him. He's a cool dude. He's a nice guy.
Really cool. But
yeah,
I feel like I could be Johnny Depp.
No.
I feel like I could.
Yeah.
Pirate 6.
I feel like you feel that. Yeah.
Because he's funny. I'm funny. That's one thing we have in common.
You're okay, I guess.
I'm funny. I could be a pirate.
Continue talking.
No, that's all I have to say.
First of all, you couldn't be a pirate. There's no way. You are not built for nautical travel.
There was a lot of different people on the ocean.
You weren't one of them. When was the last fucking time you went on a boat?
Probably not too long ago.
No. It's probably been years since you went on a boat.
Probably, no.
And you don't even like fish. That's most of what they eat when they're pirates.
No, I was going to say, I don't like fishing.
You don't like either.
I go on boats a lot.
You don't like either.
I go on boats a lot.
No, you don't.
Yeah. Scott, me and Scott go on the water.
When? When the fuck did you and Scott go on the water recently? It's been at least a year.
It's been the last time it was nice out. It's winter, you fucking asshole. It's been...
It's winter? It's May.
It was winter. I didn't go out for 6 months because it was cold.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's just starting to get nice again.
The last one is the kids from Stranger Things.
I don't care about... Why?
I can take all of them. I can take all of them.
I would say number one, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, because there's a lot more story there. Then Stranger Things, because they're just kids. Fuck them kids. Then Oprah, because she has it coming. And then PCP, Mike Tyson. Maybe. Oh, you agree?
Yeah. I just wanted to hit the bell. That is one. It's broken.
Okay, ready?
It's not my fault.
This is one.
Oh, you fixed it. Let me try. Let me try.
Next time.
Oh, dude. I'm sorry, man.
You're the worst.
It's not my fault.
What else we got?
Oh, yeah. This one I picked out for me. It's conspiracy theories.
I'm all set.
No. You're gonna rank these conspiracy theories and kind of tell me what you think
the most
real to definitely not.
No. Can we do a different scale? Can we do? We actually can. We just made this up. Can we do most ridiculous to least ridiculous? I think we're saying the same thing.
Well, I think we're saying the reverse. Most ridiculous would be least believable. Least ridiculous would be most believable.
Yes,
so you just want to reverse it. You want to start at the most out-of-pocket one.
Correct.
Okay, that's fine. I can agree to that.
You don't have to do that.
You said when we agree, I get to do the button.
On the game.
Fine, I agree. That's fair. So the first one...
Don't make me use the gavel. I have a real ruling.
No, the gavel's irrelevant. I have a bell now. So the first one we have is moon landing was fake.
That's a cliche. No, it wasn't.
I don't know, man. There's some stuff. There's a very solid chance that Stanley Kubrick was hired by NASA and the U.S. government to fake the moon landing.
But why do you think we can't just go to the moon?
Well, I mean, there was so much stuff that was like lost.
I'm sorry.
For a while, they didn't have like some of the original tapes. And all
I'm
this
sorry.
Other stuff.
You try filming the moon, and maybe
how did they broadcast that live to the entire fucking nation when like a couple years ago they tried to do like a live radio broadcast to everyone, and it was a fucking mess.
Oh no, it was a marvel like back in the day, like that. That was not an easy task.
I'm not sold on it.
But it's not like that's impossible. It's like, no, that was hard back then, but it's not like that ridiculous. We have it today. So man, that's how things progress.
Bro, Katy Perry could only go to space for 10 minutes. You think these people went to the moon in the 60s?
Yes, because Katy Perry's not NASA.
First of all, she can be anything she wants to be. She's a strong, powerful woman.
I do like Katy Perry.
And she had Jeff Bezos' wife with her.
She's got the eye of the tiger. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God, you ruin everything. The next one is 9/11 was an inside job.
That's too.
All I'm saying
you're
is,
one of those people.
Listen, jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
Crazy.
It doesn't burn hot enough. Okay?
Crazy. We're gonna move on from that one.
The Earth is flat.
No.
That one makes no sense. I'm sorry.
Yeah, clearly.
I love conspiracy theories. I hate flat earthers. I give them zero respect.
All you guys are like
That's
that,
what they should have done. Instead of sending all the women up into space, they should have just got a bunch of flat earthers and then just sent them up and been like, you see, you fucking moron? You believe it now? You good?
That's true. They should have done that.
That's what I'd pay some money for that.
What was the second one after Moon?
Moon was the one that you said we're not allowed to talk about, which was 9/11 was an inside job, but thanks for bringing it up again.
Okay, so that one is the most ridiculous. No, it was not.
They're not done. I've only
read
not done? 3.
Oh, what's the last one?
There's 2 more.
It's
like we've been doing this for so long already, bro. The next one is COVID as a bioweapon.
That was true. Bottom of the list, China.
Okay.
That's a fact.
Okay, but we're just going to scoot right on past that one. And the next one is Area 51 has alien tech.
All right.
See, here's the thing.
So that one's 4, bioweapons 5. Then I'd say 1 is 9/11, 2 is Moon, 3rd is whatever the other one you said that I forgot.
Flat Earth you're putting right in the middle? I think Flat Earth is the most ridiculous of all of them.
No.
Well, you changed my mind. See how that works? I'm making it my own thing.
Well, I guess as a physics principle, you're right. But as like
I would think that of all of them, you'd be like, you're fucking stupid.
But those people are like a different breed of people, though. That's kind of how I'm thinking. Like, the other people who believe those things are normal people, and they're just saying some whack shit. The people who are flat earthers are not normal people. I think that's kind of why it was a confusing one.
Okay. I'll let you have your own opinions, man.
What else you got? You got
more? I will say
game?
I do have other ones that we could go through. I have a couple more here in the change my mind category. Or there was another game that I had gotten, and it's called Rant. Or
Is
1
it actually
minute,
called
1
Rant?
minute rant.
Okay.
Sorry. For marketing
Does
purposes,
it come with
I
the
had
bell?
to change it. This is the game that the bell
this
came
is the
from.
game with the bell. All right, cool.
Yeah. So the point of the game technically is you're supposed to just pick a random topic from the deck, and then you have to rant about that for 1 minute without repeating yourself. But as soon as you repeat yourself, the bell goes off.
Oh,
that doesn't count because I was doing an example.
Okay, I was gonna say, let me guess. You took it as these are things. Let's see what will piss Brent off and make him talk about it.
No,
is that what you came with? Hold on, ring the bell. That's gonna be so annoying. By the way,
I hope so. You're going to have to put a real bell in post.
I know. That's why it's going to be annoying. And I can't do when you do it 1,000 times.
So, if you want, we can go through a couple of these. I figured it might be nice to kind of mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, let's go through a couple quick.
I put enough in here so that if you want, we could also do a lightning round.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll do a speedy round and then a lightning round. What I'm trying to say is everything goes quick, but we'll do it.
Okay. So first thing we have here, not all men need a podcast.
False. Of course they do.
No, well, I don't think all men need a podcast, but I think there's very specific sets of duos and trios, if we like Dave enough, that deserve a podcast. Yeah, we need to be heard.
What I'm trying to say is however you formulate your opinion, we just have to leave room in there so that we can do a podcast.
Yeah, as long as me and Brent are in the mix.
Don't describe us and then be like, yeah, those are the people that can't do a podcast.
Because they're just wrong, because we need a podcast.
Exactly.
People care about what we have to say, probably.
Yeah, if your name is Brent Neves and Cam Ponte, you can do a podcast. If you're not those people, honestly, the world's getting crowded with podcasts. Just listen to ours. I think that's what I'm saying.
That's fair. All right. So the next one is, and I don't necessarily agree with this one, but it's, I don't really care if aliens exist.
Yeah.
Which, no, I do fucking care. That means a lot.
They're aliens. They don't bother us.
Guess what? If aliens exist, then there's so much more that we can learn about, whether it's consciousness or different cultures, or maybe they can learn from us
because we're probably more developed.
We create a symbiote. You know, we come together.
We do not.
Well, yeah, the whole galaxy.
No, a symbiote is you
we
need
all
each other
interact
to
with
live.
each other.
We don't need them.
You don't know that.
Fuck them.
For all you know, they're a higher intelligence being than us, and they're stopping a bunch of fucking asteroids from hitting us.
Impossible.
You don't know that for sure. There is no way that you can say that for sure.
Yes, I can. Aliens, if you're out there, stop protecting us from asteroids.
Okay, yeah, they're not going to listen to you.
They have podcasts.
You look like a fucking dingus. They're not going to listen to you.
I'm just saying, it would be cool. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to affect my life. You know what I'm going to do? Go to work, do this podcast.
Oh, no. If aliens exist, I am never working a day in my life. That's crazy. Again. I will dedicate my life to being their best friend because aliens are fucking so much cooler than you. Imagine a podcast with me and an alien.
You probably
That's so much better.
The alien.
I would.
No, I don't
because
think so.
Honestly, a lot of reports from people who have had alien encounters, apparently they tend to speak more telepathically. In which case, you can always understand them, and they can understand
justify it with another theory. That's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous.
No, because here's the thing: aliens can talk. Yeah, aliens are real, and they can talk because they're telepathic.
Yeah.
Okay. Crazy.
So this one I kind of just put in because I really agreed with it.
Oh, you agree?
And I felt like I didn't have to take a stance, but at the same time, like I kind of did. If that makes sense to you.
Okay.
And it's, to be honest, I don't actually care about polar bears.
So you don't agree? Wait.
No, I agree with that.
Why don't you care about Okay, time out.
When the fuck am I going to see a goddamn polar bear?
Time out. So you don't care about the polar bears because you're never going to see them. But the aliens you care about because you're probably going to see them?
Because they're so much cooler than a fucking polar bear.
Yeah, but your justification is I'm never going to see a polar bear. Bro, aliens are not real. Polar bears are real.
Yeah, but the thing is I'm never going to see a polar bear. And I don't really want to.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to. They will kill you.
They'll fuck you up. That's like the only bear that there's not a trick of how to survive it.
Yeah, but like also, like they can exist just away the fuck from me.
I don't really care if they do. They don't really impact my life.
They were on the Coca-Cola can. You love the polar bears.
I love Coca-Cola.
Yeah, but the polar bears.
I don't really give a shit about polar bears.
You know what? I'm going to make my official ruling.
No.
That everybody care about the polar bears, all right? Save our environment. The polar bears.
And the Cam official ruling
you have a bell.
Aliens can speak with us through telepathy.
That bell does nothing.
The bell does everything.
You got anything else?
I have so many. This would really upset me because it reminded me of you because this is the type of shit that you fucking do. And it bugs me so much.
Okay.
And it's okay to be mad at your significant other after dreaming they cheated. You have come up to me so many times throughout our friendship.
Hold on, I'm gonna stop you right there. We are not significant others.
I know, it reminded me of this. But you've come up to me and you're like, or like when we were in high school, I come up to you like, hey, Brent, how's it going? Like in the morning. And you'd be like, it's fine. And you'd be like all fucking pissed off and bent out of shape and like you wouldn't talk to me. And finally I'd be like, dude, what the fuck did I do to you? And you're like, well, I had this dream last night and you really pissed me off. I don't control that.
No. Here's where I started getting mad. Okay, I wasn't necessarily mad there. You weren't in my dreams. You invaded my dreams.
That was one time and it was completely unintentional.
And it pissed me off.
That we weren't mad about. We were amazed by that.
I was pretty mad.
But there's a bunch of other times where you're like, oh, I was on this date with this girl, and then you showed up in the dream, and then you like fucking started making out with her, and then you told me to go fuck myself, and that was really mean. And I'm like, yeah, that's not me.
Because you would do something like that.
No, I wouldn't.
It reminded me.
If anything, you would do that before I did that.
No way.
You're so much more of a prick than me.
No. I only act like a prick.
I am 10 times more passive than you.
I only act like a prick.
This is what would happen. If I was in that scenario, you would walk right up to that girl and you'd be like, no, I'm going to charm her. I'm going to do the Brett Neps thing. If it was the other way around and you wanted to talk to this girl,
good time.
I would be playing Dig Dug. I would have no impact on that. If you were really dreaming about me, you would just turn corners and I'd be playing Dig Dug.
I'm not saying that you should do it. I'm just saying you can't be shocked when someone gets mad at you for something in their dream. It happens all the time.
No.
That's all I'm
saying. It's not a thing.
I'm just saying some people...
we are going to transition to a rapid fire round unless you'd like to move on to something else.
We can't really move on to much else.
First of all, we dictate as long as we want.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. We're not. I'll keep talking. I won't let you stop.
I will say we can do the rapid round, and then I'll give you a choice of doing one more, change my mind, or one of those stories, because we still have those technically. Yeah.
Well, this is just one that I thought you would appreciate because you love this stuff for some reason.
Man, you love the preamble. Oh my God.
I thought you liked the preamble. It's your favorite thing in the world.
You're
literally constantly talking about the preamble. I'm just trying to give you what you want. But this is just slow traffic in the left lane. You want to rant about that?
I think I already kind of ranted with a few episodes ago. Move the fuck over. Also, people, when it rains, you don't have to go 20 miles under the speed limit. You can still fucking drive. It's rain. All right? Don't be an idiot. Go.
So this one was more topical. It's astrology and horoscopes are not legitimate, and I'm going to agree on that.
No, we proved that wrong last episode. They are definitely real. No. I'm definitely the best sign. I definitely had moon rocks.
None of that was confirmed.
I definitely had crystals.
That wasn't moon rocks.
Yes, it was.
You poured water into a vial and then wrote moon water on it.
No,
and
that
those
was moon
weren't
water.
Crystals and gems and stuff like that. Those were fucking hazardous chemicals that you pulled from the lab.
No, they were crystals and legitimate moon water that I left under a full moon.
No, all of this is incorrect.
And
you sent it to me at work, and I could tell that it was your lab in the background.
No. I had gloves on because you shouldn't be handling crystals and moon water. Clearly, everyone knows that.
You're a fucking
or
idiot,
else your future doesn't come true.
This is one that I know is going to trigger you because I understand your opinion about this, but I also think it's funny. Nickelback literally did nothing wrong. You guys are just haters.
Who said they did something wrong?
Everyone hates Nickelback, buddy. You're the only person that I know that is a legitimate fan of Nickelback, and
there's no way.
They're not bad. Like, I don't get the hate, but like you like them a lot more than most people.
Nickelback is good. Like all
Look
their
at his photograph.
Exactly. Like you can't say I'm gonna show you a Nickelback song and you're gonna say that song sucks. Impossible. Crazy.
I bet I could find multiple Nickelback songs that suck.
Let us know if you're a Nickelback fan. Nickelback. Yep. I mean. When am I going to a show?
Don't look at the camera.
Nickelback. I'm looking at Nickelback.
Nickelback doesn't care about you.
Yes, he does. He does. Singly person.
It's a whole thing, man.
At least one of them does.
No. This last one I completely disagree with, but I know you have your own opinions, and it is country music slaps. I disagree.
Yeah.
Country music's not great.
It's
usually just tractors and fucking your sister.
I like some country music. I like the more modern stuff. But what I will say, which I think you would agree with, but you don't give it a chance, is country festivals, though, completely different vibe. I don't care what noise they're playing in the background. It's just a bunch of nice people drinking, hanging out, sitting on their trucks, listening to music, getting blackout in a field. That's my type of people. And the music
Whatever makes you feel good about yourself, buddy.
I mean, that doesn't sound like a good time.
I can do that with better music. I can very easily go to a different music festival.
Yeah, like an EDM festival, which I also invited you to.
No. I could go to like a nice alternative rock or like a bluegrass folk festival and just fucking vibe so much better than a country festival.
They're just not as common.
No.
You know, and country is just like summer. Think of West Virginia, you know, America. It's beautiful. You're drinking. I'm just saying we should go to a country fest.
God, you are a Republican's wet dream.
I'm just saying we should go.
If only you were straight.
I am. So, do you have any other questions? Do you want to do a story? How are we doing on time?
I have 4 of these. If you want, I can read out the topics for you, and you can choose from which ones you want.
That's fair.
So back to change my mind, we could either rank drinking games.
Well, that could be fun.
We could rank, is it a sandwich? And I'm assuming that is going to name a couple things, and you have to rank which ones are more a sandwich than the other ones.
Okay, crazy.
Next one's a little similar. Is it soup?
Okay.
So I think we're going to debate soupiness.
Crazy.
And the last one is gay slang.
No, we're
going to rank different gay slangs, apparently.
That's going to get me canceled. So what was the first one?
Drinking games.
You know what? I want to do the sandwich one.
Okay.
Let's do the sandwich one. I'm ranking based on sandwichness.
Yeah. So
okay, crazy.
Of these, which is the most
Can you define sandwich?
Well, I think that's part of the problem is how do you define sandwich? Idiot sandwich is not on there. But we have the taco, which some would consider a Mexican sandwich.
Oh, I would consider it a taco. Okay.
Okay, so maybe we should start
with
this.
There's no bread.
Hold on.
There's no bread.
Yeah, I mean, you have the shell. Or if it's a soft taco, then it's a tortilla. Okay, that's pretty bready, dude.
Honestly,
tortillas are pretty bready.
A tortilla is more sandwich than hard shell taco.
Okay, well, tacos are tacos.
But they're still low on the list.
Soft tacos or hard tacos are fucking tacos.
Wow, man. Way to generalize the whole population. That's crazy. You see what he's doing to you, Mexico?
Population?
Do you see what he's doing
I'm talking about food. I'm not talking about the people.
It's their food. And you're making fun of it.
Way to reduce a population down to one food.
No, they get the hats too.
Jesus fucking
Who loves
Christ.
the hat?
Please never leave this country because the world will hate you.
They're high on hats.
The next we have is the hot dog.
That is a sandwich.
Some would consider the American sandwich.
It's like the burger, but okay.
Is a burger a sandwich? It's not on here, but is it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a meat with 2 pieces of bread sandwiched. That's
well, a hot dog is 1 piece of bread.
Not sometimes, because sometimes the roll could split. It happens all the time.
Yeah, but it's intentionally served on a non-split
roll.
But
who says it has to have 2 pieces of bread?
Well, you just did in the definition.
Yeah, but I'm saying like
you literally said this is what a sandwich is: meat, 2 pieces of bread, and then 5 seconds later you're like, well, whoever said you needed 2 pieces of bread?
I guess what I was thinking is it has to be sandwiched between bread, so like in between bread. So I guess you don't need 2 pieces of bread technically.
You can't use the word sandwich in the definition of sandwich.
Sandwich is 2 different things. It means 2 different things.
No.
It's a verb and a noun.
The next one we have is, now, there's a controversial pronunciation about this. Gyros, also pronounced gyros.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I think it's gyro, I think it's gyro, but I think I'm going to say gyro.
So, your contradiction. That's what you are as a human being. I'm
saying, let me
you
explain.
say things, and then you're like, but it also could be this thing.
I'm saying it is gyro, but I'm Brett Neves, and I make the rules, and I say gyro, so therefore that's the right answer. That's what I'm saying. It's gyro.
Is that the one you even said that you were going to go with?
I was joking.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot.
That's a Greek sandwich.
Next one we have is a wraps.
That's the sandwich, yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
Because then technically, a soft taco would be a sandwich.
My argue was not with soft taco. It was with the hard taco.
Hard taco is the same as a fucking hot dog.
Taco is just a Mexican word for sandwich.
No.
It could be.
Okay. And the last one we have is Subway, like a submarine sandwich.
Yeah, they named a restaurant after it.
No, I think that's pretty obvious. Like,
okay, so that's one. That's the most obvious
sandwich.
And then wrap, because usually when they ask what type of bread, wrap's like on there. Then we have hot dog.
Okay. So you're putting hot dog above gyro.
Yes, because hot dog is a sandwich. It's the American sandwich, as you said. Even though
you tried to tell me a burger was, even though a
wasn't on the list, though.
Burger is less controversial than hot dog. Yeah, but
burger wasn't on the list.
Yeah, because it's just a sandwich. There's no debate on the hamburger being a sandwich. Hamburgers are sandwiches.
Hamburger and hot dog split the American sandwich spot.
No, I think it's just hot dog is the American. Listen, hot dog is to America as gyro is to Greece.
No, because gyro is number 4. They're like technically a sandwich. You know? Like, yeah, I'm going to give it to you. I'm not going to argue.
And then you're going to put taco last?
But they have falafel and shit. Yeah, taco's a taco. So, that's completely different.
You're a weirdo, dude.
You don't agree with that?
I think these are all fucking sandwiches, and I think they're all equally sandwiches.
Well, yeah, but I agree.
I just have a very, loose idea of what a sandwich is.
No.
It's one of those things where you know it when you see it.
I'm not saying that they're all not sandwiches. I may have an argument with taco, but I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if we're ranking them, clearly that's what it is.
So, do we want to do any more of these change your minds, or do we want to save it for a different episode?
How about this? Here's what I want from you. We're going to do the soup one, because it's very on brand. And then I want you to give a fire outro. And then we're going to do something.
Dude, I need food.
Yeah, we'll get food.
Sandwiches?
Yo! Hot dogs. Or tacos.
No, I said sandwiches.
Tacos.
No, I said sandwiches. No, I could fuck up some Taco Bell, though.
Maybe we'll do that.
I would destroy.
We can get chicken nuggets there now, too.
I mean,
we'll let you know how they are.
All right, Brent, we're going to say if these are soups or not. The last one may shock you. Can you give your definition of what soup is?
Liquid in a bowl.
What?
Very loose. I'm like you with the sandwich. Very loose.
Okay.
It's usually with like some type of additives or substance, we'll call it. I'm not gonna say meat, substance, and not necessarily like an animal like broth, but like a liquid. Anything can be a broth. Yeah, like
say animal broth,
like a stock. You know, that's a thing. Like an animal stock. That's a thing.
What about like a chowder?
Well, that's why I'm expanding it, because it's not just that. It's a little bit more. It's very broad.
I think it's just a liquid thing that you eat instead of drink, is my very loose term of
You can drink soup. Campbell's in a can.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I got sick from that one time, but yeah.
Okay. Well, first we have cereal.
That's a soup.
Is cereal a soup? Yeah,
absolutely.
I completely agree.
Milk is like your broth. The marshmallows and grains of rice are the stock.
I'm really happy that is how you defined and justified cereal, because the next one, milkshake.
Okay, that's stupid, though.
Is milkshake a soup? Because technically, it fits exactly what you said a cereal made it.
False, because that is, even though it appears a liquid, it also has, like, it's like solid, too. And then you have
there are thicker soups.
Yeah, but none that are not runny. Like, I can guarantee you there's no soup.
Like a chowder, for example.
Okay, but a chowder is still more, less viscous than a shake. 100%.
Depends on the shake.
I mean, maybe it depends on the shake. We'll give you that one. But I'm going to say the typical standard shake, probably, no.
All right. So
that one's the most ridiculous.
One that technically does fit your definition, but I don't know how you're going to fall on it. Salsa. Is salsa a soup?
There's going to be a viscosity factor to it. I don't know what that number is.
Well, think about the definition that you said. You said it's a liquid thing in a bowl.
Honestly, I'm definitely way more convinced that
because it could be like a tomato soup.
Because that's what I was going to say. That's why I'm more convinced.
Chunky tomato soup.
That's why I'm more convinced of that one, but not milkshake. Milkshake is not that. So I would say so far they're 4 and 5.
Next one I like to think is pretty obvious, but I'm sure people have disagreements.
Is it
chili.
Soup? Yeah, chili's a soup.
I think chili's a soup.
Those all 5?
Nope, there's one more.
One more.
There's only 4.
This
is the last one that I said may shock you because in a sense...
Let me give my ranking right now as it stands.
Hold on. In a sense, I want to justify this though. In a sense, this last one does fit your definition.
But right now, we're going to go with chili. And then what was the first one you said? Oh, cereal. This is going to be number 2. Then salsa. Then milkshake. So far.
Okay. The last one, ladies and gentlemen, is the ocean. Is the ocean a soup?
Are you eating the ocean? That's so fucking dumb. I'm not going to talk about that. It
fits all of your qualifications. It is in a bowl.
Do you eat it?
The earth. A lot of people do eat it. People
don't eat the ocean.
People eat stuff that's floating in the ocean. It's a bunch of stuff. It's like an animal broth, like you were discussing.
Cam, no one's drinking the ocean afterwards. No one's drinking the ocean afterwards.
I think it's a soup, man. I think it's God's soup.
I think a hot tub's a soup.
Well, yeah, that's we've been going into a hot tub making soup since high school.
Is the ocean a hot tub? No.
No, it's not a hot tub, but there's cold soups. I mean, you got cereal,
gazpacho.
You got gazpacho.
Yeah, okay, but I'm not.
Gazpacho's creepy.
Here's the thing: I'm drinking the hot tub water. I'm not drinking the ocean. There's a lot of salt in it.
You're drinking hot tub water?
Sometimes. You never drink hot tub water?
No.
Happens sometimes.
I've also never eaten chocolate out of someone's toes in a hot tub.
Disgusting. I will throw up. We cannot talk about that. But
because you're a fucking sick bastard.
That's disgusting. And I feel like if I don't explain, it's going to look weird, but I can't because I will throw up.
Because that's all we have today for you folks. Thank you for listening to We've Got Words, the podcast no one asked for. Listen, we know you didn't ask for it, but it's already here, so you might as well just enjoy it. Go along with it. Follow us on all the socials, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Brent, you got anything else for the people?
We're back to the long outros, people.
Thanks for listening.